So here we have some lovely pork ribs, free-range rack of pork, a farmhouse rack of pork.
Here we are with Gérard Depardieu in his Parisian bistro.
I think great chefs, like great actors, don't shoot their mouths off. A great actor is not someone who tells you how acting works. It's someone who will read a script, who will feel the words and bring them to life. Well, it's the same thing for a chef. They are presented with a wonderful script, or in this case, a product, and they will get the very best they can from it.
Gérard Depardieu is a bon vivant in real life and on screen. In one of his most recent films, Grenouille d'hiver, he plays a wine grower.
This is our new wine. It's very earthy. There's a wildness to it. He's on his land, not in the chateau, on his land. It's the only place he can go to be alone and not have to speak among his rows of vines. This is the beauty of vines and the beauty of life, because above ground, before the leaves grow, it looks like dead wood. But in actual fact, the saps are growing underground, and then spring arrives and they come into life.
We're no longer just on a film set, and Gérard Depardieu is no longer just playing a role. These are his vines. The film was shot at the Château de Tigné in Anjou, and he's entrusted his vineyards to a friend, Philippe Paulou.
Gérard is a farmer, a countryman. I've known him for 25 years, and he's more of a farmer than an actor. I don't know anything about his career in the film industry, and I'm not interested. Gérard is my associate, and also my boss, because all this is his, and he takes care of the whole thing. He really is a wine grower at heart.
He moved here in 1988, encouraged by his friend Jean Carmet, and drawn to the Cabernet Franc, a grape variety cultivated mainly in the Loire Valley.
This grape variety gives the wine length. Nowadays, we are used to drinking young wines. We don't drink aged wines so much, and also they don't age as well. But the Cabernet Franc ages very well. I spent a lot of time working the land, the soil, to rid it of all these products. It took 20 years. I'm trying to represent the typicity of the land, the terroir, by producing small yields, carrying out a green harvest, doing what everybody does nowadays.
It's now one of the region's largest vineyards with 92 hectares of vines.
The advantage of having a vineyard that spreads out across the land is that it provides a great diversity. There's the shelly sand. We also have the schist-based soils and black schist. And as far as aromatic complexity is concerned, we have fantastic vintages. All soil is good soil. But if you have rich soil, then grass and weeds will grow, and wine growers don't want that, so they use weed killer. I don't use weed killer, I work the land and get rid of it. In soils which are less rich, like in some areas of my land, at the Château de Tigné, we have black schist. There was a great deal of work involved in planting this vine. The land is difficult to work because it's very rocky. The vine will penetrate down looking for nutrients, and in actual fact, it's better to have poor soil, because the more the wine suffers, the better the wine.
And just a few kilometers down the road at Saumur, he's teamed up with a famous wine company to produce a sparkling wine. His name features on the label of the Taille Princesse vintage.
So when we first decided to collaborate on a wine, it was because he likes our wine and also because he said something fantastic. He said, and after all, champagne doesn't have the monopoly on bubbles. What is a Loire Valley Brut made from? With Chenin and Chardonnay, which I also have, and Pinot Meunier to make a sparkling pink wine.
The wine from the Château de Tigné and the sparkling wines are all available in this wine cellar in Paris. But this is more of a food cellar, and because the actor's a real fan of meat, it's also on the menu.
We could, for example, prepare a steak, a prime rib of beef, and just lightly grill it on either side. People seem to eat their beef medium rare, but it shouldn't be eaten like that. Beef should be served extra rare, so red but warm on the inside. When you have a good product, you don't need to worry about what you should do with it. I don't think you need to add a sauce to it. If you have a line-caught sea bass, for example, you just need to put it in the oven 15 minutes. You don't need to scale it, and when it's cooked, you just drizzle some olive oil over it. An olive oil that I produce in Tuscany, actually, because I've tried many different varieties.
En Toscane, parce que j'en ai essayé partout.
Gérard Depardieu is insatiable, travelling the world on the lookout for new products.
I only do things I'm passionate about. It's about discovering new things and enjoying the mysteries that follow. I like to understand what I'm doing, make my own decisions. Sometimes we make mistakes, or we blend flavours that don't marry well. But I trust with this juice, I could concoct something else.
Moi, je fais confiance d'abord c'est avec le jus de ça que je pourrais tourner autour de quelque chose d'autre. Voilà.